Last year, the Vegas Golden Knights had 108 points in the regular season. By the way, this is what this is. It's a regular season preview. Let's not talk about the playoffs. Let's not talk about that 5-game series against Edmonton in the second round. Let's talk about the Vegas Golden Knights. Over-under set at 106.5. They had 108 last year, and they added Mitch Marner. So where do we have the Vegas Golden Knights this year? They were second in the conference last year.
I am climbing the ropes.
Okay.
And I am Macho Man Randy Savage elbow dropping the over as hard as I can.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, even that's without Alex Pietrangelo, which we're going to talk about. Jesse, what about you?
106.5.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to take the under. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot.
So you're not confident at all.
No, 106 points is a lot. Even if they get 106 points, I'd be like, that's a very successful season. That's just a lot of points for me to bet on. So
they could win the division with 106.
Yeah, I think I'm just doing, I think, a service to my odds on hitting this. So I'm going to take the under.
Okay, so you can't talk about these guys without talking about the biggest acquisition of the summer, which is Mitch Marner. He was the best free agent available. He didn't even make it to free agency. They were able to work out a deal with the Leafs. So Mitch Marner added, Nicolas Waugh subtracted, Alex Pietrangelo subtracted. And we didn't know at the time that Petro wasn't going to play this year, although it was sort of trending that way, and it's looking like he may never play again. A lot of hard miles on that body. Let's start with the addition of Mitch Marner and what it brings to this lineup. Listen, we know him well, and we know what he does great. And, man, Mitch Marner can put together some magic stuff.
Yeah, and it's great because he can sort of help you with everything. He's going to be a factor on your penalty kill. He's going to be a factor on your power play. If you're down a goal, he's going to be a factor in the final 90 seconds. If you're up a goal, he's going to be a factor in the final 90 seconds. He's going to be on your top line. Like, he's a very, very significant add for this team. And I mean, no one, not a single person in Toronto would be surprised if he put up a career high in everything.
Right. Just because he can.
Not a soul alive, living and breathing above the dirt, would be like, oh, yeah, no. Good things don't happen to the Leafs.
Right.
They don't. So the way this usually trends is he's going to go somewhere, and he's going to have the best season of his life.
Jesse, looking like at the start of camp, he's starting with Barbashev and Jack Eichel. Pretty solid line mates. Looks a little bit like, with the exception of the shooting power of Austin Matthews, a little like the Nyes Matthews-Marner line from last year in terms of player makeup. What do you think about Mitch Marner's addition to this team?
There's no reason not to believe that he won't have maybe the most successful season of his entire career. Like, he's extremely motivated to go to Vegas and show everybody what he can be there outside of Toronto. And this thing I think is going to be so successful playing with Jack Eichel too, who's a different type of player than Austin Matthews. It's going to be interesting to see Marner play with somebody who has so much speed through the neutral zone, because that's where Jack Eichel really is successful in his game, is he can fly through just like Nathan McKinnon does and get the puck in that way, and seeing how Marner's skills match that, because it might honestly be a better fit than Matthews. We'll see how it plays out, but it's going to be very successful for them this season on that top line.
That line's going to be ridiculous at both ends of the ice. There's like very minute things that I have my eye on. He hasn't regularly played with a right-handed center since Tyler Bozak, like 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago.
He's played with one guy for more than half a decade.
Yeah, and before it was him, it was John Tavares, right? And you know, he just hasn't played very much with a right-handed center. I love, as a fantasy sleeper, Ivan Barbashev so much. His career high isn't that mind-blowing. It's 26. He had 23 last year in 70 games. I wouldn't be shocked at all if he had like a Zach Hyman-esque where the hell did that come from run, and he throws up 30 plus, maybe even, I'll say it, screw it, flirts with 40 goals.
You think so?
For a guy whose career high is 26. That line, they're going to dominate. They're going to dominate.
Now, we can't forget that this team is also a team that features the likes of Thomas Hertl, Mark Stone, William Karlsson. These are very, very good players. We have we had the return of Riley Smith last year. Brandon Saad joined the team late last year. They love what Dorofeyev has added. Colton Sissons was added in to replace Nikola Waugh. So there has been some turnover, but there's a lot of faces that have been here for a while too.
Yeah, the Marner addition pushes everybody on the right side down, and it's already a strong right side that started with Mark Stone, and like him being there gives everybody else just like even on the penalty kill, on the power play, every facet of the game, he's going to affect that. And all of these guys who are super talented without Marner now have easier jobs with him there.
The defensive burden you're taking off of Mark Stone is one of the biggest positives of adding Mitch Marner. It could make him better, honestly.
For 82 games, Mark Stone's matchups against the other team are now easier.
Yes.
Because Marner's there now to cover that for him.
Yes.
Now, without Pietrangelo, it's McNabb, Theodore, Hannafin, Whitecloud, Lozon, Korzak, maybe. So I'm questioning... that defense does not. It's still pretty damn good.
It's still very good,
but it is not as formidable as it used to be.
No, and this is like I keep talking about Pietrangelo. Like people are not appreciating how big of a loss this is. I don't think you're going to notice it as much through the regular season. I think it's going to be hell when the playoffs arrive, not having that player. But through 82 games,
you're fine.
They're a better team. They're a better regular season team this year than last, to me, no question.
Might a player like Rasmus Andersson change the makeup of that? I wonder. But we can't say that in the preview. We don't know.
Well, they're not. You can't be in on everyone. They
can. Yeah, sure
you can try. But like they're in on Rasmus Andersson, and the rumor is also Carter Hart. So how much is Hart going to make? Are you going to get Calgary to retain on Anderson somehow? I don't know how they're going to make this work. Maybe it involves trading someone like Brett Howden. I don't know how they're going to do all this. And one thing that could hurt them is backup goaltending.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. I wanted to break down that defense. And the backup goaltender is Akira Schmidt. Obviously, they've got Aiden Hill, won them the Stanley Cup. Maybe hasn't been the same guy since in terms of being lights out. But very good goaltender, $6.25 million. And you said Akira Schmidt might hurt them. And they had Ilya Samsonov last year. What is it about Akira Schmidt that you're just not...
He's just not a proven commodity. Like he stole the starting job in the playoffs for the Devils a few years ago and then just completely fell into the abyss. So we'll see what you got there. I wonder if they're scavenging the waiver wire at the beginning of the season, to be honest.
Well, there are going to be a lot of goalies that try to pass through. Jesse, what do you think about the goaltending situation in Vegas?
It's not the best. Like I honestly think there's the room to upgrade there and that they will. Like, I don't think this is what they're going to end the season with at all. I don't think it's going to be Hill and Schmidt. So they probably can, if I can see that, they can see that, and they're going to tweak there in their goaltenders. So it's hard to predict how they're going to play out when their goaltending, I think, is in flux truly, and that going to the playoffs, these won't be their two guys.
We're grading them more harshly because we think so highly of them. It's hard to win a division. And like if something goes wrong for you,
it's also hard to poke holes in the Vegas Golden Knights.
Of course. But like if you get substandard goaltending for like a month, that can hurt your chance of winning a division because we're talking about the best of the best of the best.
Bruce Cassidy, we rarely mention coaches in this segment, but I think he's a big part of what these guys are. I do think they're one of the better coach teams in the league. I've always had a ton of respect for him. He broke my heart several times in Toronto.
Son of a gun.
As coach of the Bruins. And I think if you were to give Bruins management truth serum, as much as Jim Montgomery was a good coach for them, I think they probably wouldn't have moved on from Bruce Cassidy in retrospect, given that he immediately won a cup afterwards. How do you think a guy like this adds to a guy like Mitch Marner's game? Because Mitch is not a guy that's afraid to learn and to grow. And I think that there were some questions in Toronto when Bruce went up against Mike Babcock and against Sheldon Keefe that he basically outplayed them in the coaches battle. Where do you think Mitch grows there? And also, he's a part of the Olympic coaching staff. That's important.
Yeah, that's hugely important. I believe he was part of that staff from Four Nation face-off. I think it'll be a seamless transition because Mitch Cassidy will be his fourth NHL coach. And he's already played with him. I think it'll be fine.
Jess?
Yeah, like it's going to be fun to see him in a new environment. Like Cassidy, I don't think is like the coaches that Mitch had in Toronto. So I'm interested to see the style of play they have in Vegas with Mitch Marner now there.
So that brings us to predictions. And remember, this is a division that looked pretty tight at the top last year. Los Angeles had 105 points. Edmonton, who had a bad start, had 99. And then there was a bit of a fall off from there. Calgary Flames at 94, just missing the playoffs. Vancouver, Anaheim, Seattle, San Jose. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's difficult for you guys, just like it was difficult for me, to not see them winning the division. So that's where I have them.
Here, should we do it all at once on a 3-shot?
Okay.
See what we got?
All right.
Okay.
Well, I already gave you mine, but
on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Winning the division.
No, I already picked Edmonton.
Well, I didn't remember that.
What
you expect me to remember that? So you think
Could you have mentioned that a little sooner?
Yeah, like we're gonna remember that, Jesse. Come on, man.
Goldfish brain.
Yeah, well, of course. You know us.
I have Vegas second
in the division.
I already had picked Edmonton to win.
That was Monday. I don't freaking
couldn't do a 3 count.
That was 4 days ago. Vegas is gonna win the division.
There's your Vegas Golden Knights season preview.